Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to ask you to please sit down. We will soon start the Nansen ceremony. Mesdames et messieurs, on vous invite à vous asseoir. On va commencer la cérémonie bientôt. Merci beaucoup. Dear friends and colleagues, you're probably getting tired of hearing my voice. If you want to see the show, please sit down if you want to receive your awards. And again, welcome to everybody. We look forward to the evening. Merci beaucoup. S'il vous plaît, prenez place. On va commencer sous peu. Bonne soirée.
Welcome, distinguished guests, to the 2023 UNHCR Nansen Refugee Award Ceremony. This event is hosted jointly by the Swiss government, the State Council of the Republic and Canton of Geneva, the Administrative Council of the City of Geneva, the Government of Norway, the IKEA Foundation, and UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency. For those here in person, you will find a headset at your seat for live interpretation into English during some of the acceptance speeches. We kindly ask you to switch off your mobile phones during the ceremony. Photos and video of the event will be made available for download on UNHCR's Refugees Media platform, media.unhcr.org. Our Master of Ceremonies this evening is a journalist known for her work in humanitarian reporting, Anne Curry.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2023 UNHCR Nansen Refugee Awards. I'm Anne Curry. At this moment, in this world, who doesn't want to be among heroes? To see with our own eyes those who stand up despite difficulties and even risk to protect vulnerable people fleeing conflict or persecution. May we all see, hear, or feels something tonight that reminds us of the astonishing human good that still persists. That gorgeous glow of light that shines often brightest in our darkest places and illuminates, even now, humanity's way forward. We are joined by people from the world over, more than 1,000 here in Geneva, delegates completing the first day of the 2023 Global Refugee Forum, the world's largest gathering of refugees, on refugees. And many more are joining via live stream, among them families and friends of tonight's honorees. Let us welcome everyone. Tonight we'll meet people who have made their lives extraordinary because they chose to take action when they've seen others in need. Most are unsung heroes until tonight. A woman who negotiated peace deals with armed groups. A woman who opened her heart to millions caught by conflict. A couple who gave emergency sanctuary to refugees. And a team of men and women who are making sure that the world doesn't forget their people. We'll also meet the Nansen Global Laureate, who has dramatically changed the lives of young people fleeing conflict, with an idea that perhaps could only have come from one who was a refugee himself. And we'll meet 3 bright musical talents, bringing us sounds of beauty and hope as they too share a deep commitment and empathy for people who need safety. Empathy unites and inspires. My mother's years of suffering because of war broke open my own well of empathy, inspired my work and my decision to stand on this stage tonight. And she would have loved to know that here in Switzerland, at least, her daughter, as many of you, is fueled with so much good chocolate. With empathy, a deeper respect for all humanity can awaken. This is how we're able to recognize that refugees themselves often know better than anyone what solutions will make the greatest difference in their lives. This respect leads to action, to effectiveness, to impact, and this is why the UNHCR Nansen Refugee Awards have recognized individuals, groups, and organizations that have taken extraordinary action to help forcibly displaced and stateless people since 1954. The namesake for these awards, Fridtjof Nansen, a celebrated Norwegian scientist, explorer, and diplomat, became a humanitarian and the world's first High Commissioner for Refugees under the League of Nations. His achievements won him the 1922 Nobel Peace Prize. Take a look at his legacy.
The history of mankind rises and falls like the waves.
Famed polar explorer Fridtjof Nansen did not become a humanitarian for the recognition. He was already a household name after reaching a record northern latitude on his expedition to the North Pole in 1896. Famed polar explorer Fridtjof Nansen did not become a humanitarian to win awards, but he was the recipient of countless medals, awards, and achievements during the course of his lifetime, including a Nobel Peace Prize in 1922. And famed polar explorer Fridtjof Nansen certainly did not become a humanitarian to have an award named after himself. And yet today, over 100 courageous, passionate individuals have won the UNHCR Refugee Award bearing his name. So why then did famed polar explorer Fridtjof Nansen become a humanitarian? In 1922, famine struck the Soviet Union. Millions died. Humanitarian efforts stalled, leaving millions more on the brink of starvation. Simultaneously, the newly formed League of Nations was finding its place in the world.
I would like to make a suggestion from a neutral point of view for the alleviation of this gigantic misery on purely humanitarian grounds. Yours, most respectfully, Fridtjof Nansen.
Acting as the first ever High Commissioner for Refugees, Fridtjof Nansen did, as he had done so many times before. He navigated a path. Aid was delivered at scale. Millions of lives were saved.
But why were there some who did not want to help? Ask them. In all probability, their motives were political. They epitomize sterile self-importance and the lack of will to understand people who think differently. Characteristics which now constitute the greatest danger in Europe.
The Blitz had started.
New crises emerged, which required new solutions.
We were going to the American embassy asking for, when we get the visa, you need a passport for a visa. But we didn't have a passport.
Perhaps his greatest legacy was the creation of the Nansen passport, a simple document allowing for safe passage of refugees, which saved thousands during the time period of 1921 to 1944. Almost a century later, and our world is changing. But the problems are not.
Sometimes I feel like flying, like others do, but I cannot even access a passport.
Fortunately, a 21st century Nansen passport is gaining momentum. Machine readable, equipped with biometric data, a document for the future, based on principles from the past.
They call us romantics, sentimental idealists perhaps, because we have some faith in the good which exists, because we believe that kindness achieves more than cruelty.
Famed polar explorer Fridtjof Nansen chose to become a humanitarian because he knew he could save lives. Because when faced with tragedy, there is only one choice: action or indifference. Which will you choose?
Just as Nansen rose to the challenges of his day, we too are called to take action in our time. And on that note, UNHCR asks that we turn our thoughts to the civilians and the humanitarians who have lost their lives in just the past year because of armed conflict, now in Gaza, as well as too many other places in our world. Our first performer takes action with music, with songs about resilience, identity, and hope that have climbed the charts. Born during a time of civil war in the Democratic Republic of Congo, she and her family found refuge in Belgium, and she became a singer, a songwriter, a visual artist, model, and musician. Performing an original song that she wrote especially for tonight, followed by her hit, Solo, let us warmly welcome a rising star of Congolese and Rwandan descent, Luce and the Yakuza.
makes us us? What makes us us? Is it the bones? Is it the blood that makes us us? That makes us us? I wish all this was foolish, but we still don't know how to love each other. So I ask again, can you tell me what makes us us? We dream about hope, we talk about love. We are lost, 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 lost and hoping for a change. We are hoping for a change every day. When the sun is coming out, so does my faith, faith in us. I pray for better days every night, just 'cause we must. I thank everybody deserves another chance to change. I thank everybody deserves a chance to change what's in us. But we dream about hope, we talk about love. We are lost, lost, lost. We're lost and we are hoping for a change, 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 a chance to change. We are hoping, we are hoping, we are hoping for a change, to change. And we dream about hope, we talk about love. We are lost, 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 lost and hoping for a change. Thank you so much.
Cheers and money, please. I wrote that song a couple days ago because my repertoire is very dark, and I was trying to have a very happy song, and I'm so honored, I feel so honored to be in front of all these heroes. You don't know how much this organization means to me and my family. Thank you so, so much for having us. This next song is called Solo, and it talks about the solitude that we all feel. Quoi que l'on dise, on restera solo. Quoi que l'on fasse, on restera solo. Ice, ice, solo, solo. Ice, ice, solo, solo. Hey. Quoi que l'on dise, on restera solo. Quoi que l'on fasse, on restera solo. Ice, ice, solo, solo. Ice, ice, solo, solo. Et dès la naissance, on nous a promis monts et merveilles, à condition qu'on l'affirme, qu'on oublie l'essentiel. À qui demander de l'aide à part au Père éternel? Pourquoi le noir n'est-il pas une couleur de l'arc-en-ciel? Que Dieu m'éloigne du chemin de la vengeance, le rendre la paresse est tentant. Dois-je crier pour qu'on m'entende? 6-0 année de l'indépendance. Que Dieu m'éloigne du chemin de la vengeance, le rendre la paresse est tentant. Dois-je crier pour qu'on m'entende? 6-0 année de l'indépendance. Toujours devoir débattre, toujours devoir se défendre, se battre jusqu'à la muerte, parce qu'on a trop de fierté. Toujours devoir débattre, oh non, toujours devoir se défendre, non, 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 se battre jusqu'à la muerte, parce qu'on a trop de fierté. Quoi que l'on dise, on restera solo. Quoi que l'on fasse, on restera solo. Ice, ice, solo, solo, ice, ice, solo, solo, hey. Quoi que l'on dise, on restera solo. Quoi que l'on fasse, on restera solo. Ice, ice, solo, solo, ice, ice, solo. Comment faire pour ne jamais leur rendre l'appareil? Personne ne peut voir à travers les liens fraternels, mais certains continuent à nous voir comme leurs adversaires. Pourquoi le noir n'est-il pas une couleur de l'arc-en-ciel? Que Dieu m'éloigne du chemin de la vengeance, le rendre la paresse est tentant. Dois-je crier pour qu'on m'entende? 6-0 année de l'indépendance. Que Dieu m'éloigne du chemin de la vengeance, le rendre la paresse est tentant. Dois-je crier pour qu'on m'entende? 6-0 année. Toujours devoir débattre, oh non, toujours devoir se défendre, non, non, non. Se battre jusqu'à la moitié, parce qu'on a trop de fierté. Toujours devoir débattre, oh non, toujours devoir se défendre, non, non, non. Se battre jusqu'à la moitié, parce qu'on a trop de fierté. Quoi que l'on dise, on restera solo. Quoi que l'on fasse, on restera solo. Ice, ice, solo, solo, ice, ice, solo, solo, hey. Quoi que l'on dise, on restera solo. Quoi que l'on fasse, on restera solo. Ice, ice, solo, solo, ice, ice, solo. Parle, dis-moi ce qui te gêne. Je sens ton regard et ton cœur qui se gêne. Parle, dis-moi ce qui te gêne. Je sens ton regard et ton cœur qui se gêne. Parle, dis-moi ce qui te gêne. Parle, dis-moi ce qui te gêne. Parle, dis-moi ce qui te gêne. Dis-moi ce qui te gêne. Dis-moi ce qui te gêne. Quoi que l'on dise, on restera. Quoi que l'on fasse, on restera solo. Ice, ice, solo, solo, ice, ice, solo, solo, hey. Quoi que l'on dise, on restera solo. Quoi que l'on fasse, on restera solo. Ice, ice, solo, solo, ice, ice, solo, solo. Solo, 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 solo. Solo, 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 yeah. Solo, 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 solo. Solo, 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 yeah. Solo, 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 solo. Solo, 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 yeah. Solo, 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 solo. Solo, 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 solo. On restera solo.
Yakuza, thank you so much. Now we meet this year's Nansen awardees from regions all around the world. In the Americas, this year's awardee is a human rights defender and peace builder who stands up to protect communities affected by armed conflict in Colombia. We honor Elizabeth Moreno Barco. In the Middle East, awardee is the founder and the chairperson, I'll say that again because I'm not sure the mic was on. In the Middle East and North Africa, this year's awardee is the founder and the chairperson of the Sustainable Development Foundation in Yemen, which has provided humanitarian assistance to nearly 2 million people affected by conflict. We honor Asia al-Mashraqi. In Europe, this year's awardees are a Polish couple who use their hotel chain and foundation to shelter and train people suddenly displaced by war, including many with disabilities. We honor Lena Grochowska and Władysław Grochowski. In Asia and the Pacific, this year's awardees are refugees who use photography, video, and poetry to document the lives of their fellow stateless Rohingya refugees so that the world doesn't forget them. We honor the Rohingya storytellers, Abdallah, Zia, Salim, and Shahida. Take a look at what they have all achieved.
Naprawdę trudno sobie wyobrazić, jakie uczucie towarzyszy ludziom, kiedy muszą uciekać ze swoich domów. To jest tragedia niesamowita.
Wherever you may be, empathy is universal.
No, musimy być nieobojętni na cierpienie ludzi. Musimy być otwarci na to.
From philanthropists in Poland to a role model in Yemen.
طبعاً دخولي للجامعة ساعد فيما بعد دخول كثير من بنات الحارة، من بنات العائلة، من خواتي اللي أصبحت دكتورة. ضروري إن إحنا نبدأ. أين بيروحوا أطفال اليمن؟
To the rivers of Colombia, where saving a life means risking your own.
Un día tal empezaron a llegar grupos al margen de la ley. Pienso que ha sido una de las acciones humanitarias fue el haber mediado con el ELN la liberación de una niña que secuestraron en el 2019, entonces siempre es bastante delicado.
To the world's largest refugee camp, where a group of filmmakers, photographers, and artists share their own stories with the world.
I'm a Rohingya refugee. I do photography, videography to tell the story of the Rohingya refugee.
International community.
When the people see, then they can feel about our community.
Really inspire me and really empower me to share their experience.
This year's Nansen Refugee Award regional winners come from all walks of life, but stand for the same values: community, compassion, leadership, action.
Well, I think I'll move over here. As some of our awardees will be speaking in their mother tongues, you can find the English translation on your headsets on Channel 1. Now, to present the regional winners their awards, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, Filippo Grandi, now joins us. Sir, welcome. To receive the award for the Americas, let us now welcome human rights defender Elizabeth Moreno Barco to the stage.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Felicidades. Es un gran placer de que tú eres aquí con nosotros. I will speak English just to share a few thoughts about Elizabeth Moreno Barco, actually Chava, as she is more commonly known. Chava is, I think the way she was introduced, human rights defender, peace builder, and a displaced person herself, says it all. She's been displaced from her village in Colombia for over 10 years. But she has not given up, and she continues to speak out against violence and in support of vulnerable population in a place called the San Juan River Valley. I was actually just near there a few weeks ago myself, and I could see that the challenges of violence and displacement are quite daunting. So it takes a lot of courage to do what Chava is doing. And as was mentioned in the video, which I found quite extraordinary, she does not shy away from talking to difficult people, to dangerous people. She's done this to release hostages of these armed groups and to stand for her community. And I think that this award, this regional award for the Americas that we give to Chava tonight, is really a recognition of how important it is to work in the community, to negotiate, to be out there, even when it's dangerous, to promote the right of your people and to deliver humanitarian assistance. Chava, congratulations, and we're very happy that you are the regional award winner for the Americas, and this is the certificate for you.
Muy buenas noches a todos. Darle las gracias primero a Dios por permitirnos estar en este escenario, por permitirnos defender la vida en los diferentes escenarios, países o continentes donde nos encontremos. Gracias a ustedes por hacer posible nuestro trabajo. Yo vengo de un pueblo llamado Tocoromá, en el municipio litoral del San Juan, departamento del Chocó, Colombia, territorio colectivo de comunidades negras y afros e indígenas. Nosotros vivíamos en este país en armonía y felices.
But that land
que nos rodea con la naturaleza y todos sus habitantes. Pero hoy
But that land, together with Chocó, in the Pacific coast, is dying today, both physically and culturally, due to the ongoing war and the absence of the state, which leads to the infringement of our economic, social, cultural, and environmental rights, because of the absence of previous governments and active war that does not stop in our territories. I have come today in my capacity as manager of Foro Interétnico Solidaridad Chocó, but I also form part of other organizations in my country, and I come here today to tell you part of the reality that Black communities and indigenous communities live in the Pacific region in Colombia. Armed conflict has lingered in my country for more than 6 decades, in spite of the efforts made to implement the 2016 peace agreement between the government and the FARC-EP, it has been hard, but not impossible. We dream with their implementation, and especially with the ethnic chapter that recognizes and does the opportunity to ethnic communities to transform territory and country and give us an opportunity as ethnic people. Between 2017 and 2023, forced displacement persists in our territories, as does isolation, and affects disproportionately our populations, indigenous populations, and Afro-Colombian people. Despite the difficulties that we persist, we keep the hope and keep on dreaming of a better future. We chose to defend life because of love and respect to ourselves and to others. We want to be happy being who we are and why we do it. It's like that because we have no other option of survival in our territories. We fight to defend the life of our communities, to defend our cultures. We know there is risks. We know death could knock on our door. Still, rather than resigning to a slow death, we have chosen to fight for a just and fulfilling life. We have chosen life by embracing hope to our communities and giving joy. By walking down this path, we have understood that defending life and caring for it entails several actions and strategies. Today, Afro-descendant peoples have traveled on wooden vessels known as champas, which represent our identity as an ethnic group, and to which we invite everyone here to be part of to build peace. Our champa strategy goes beyond preventing the physical and cultural extinction of varying ethnic groups. It also allows us to grant fulfilling and happy life in freedom and a sustainable and prosperous future. I would like to share that we count with an administration that is willing to grant us our rights. This administration has put the preservation of life at the core of the public agenda. We are certain that in the years to come, the government will fulfill its commitment on protecting communal land, guaranteeing access to the land, and promoting the socioeconomic integration of displaced people. All of which are crucial steps towards social justice and historical redress in light of the infringement of human rights. Will, however, is not enough. And governing over an entire country is not all easy anywhere in the world with the situation we are facing. That is why we require the support of the whole of the international community. Total peace requires that everyone be included in building a sustainable future, as well as a land that is peaceful and violence-free. Today, as a defendant on my country and award winner of this prize, and recognizing the fight of my ancestors and all the leaders that inhabit the Pacific in Colombia and in the Americas. I am deeply grateful to the UNHCR and to all the people who have supported me all these years with their work, who have made this achievement possible. I would also like to thank my family and all of you that are here all today. Thank you very much.
Brava. Brava. Thank you, Elizabeth. To receive the award from the Middle East and North Africa, let us welcome a humanitarian to millions, Asia al-Mashraqi, to the stage.
So our second laureate from the Middle East and North Africa is, as you saw in the video, Asia al-Mashraqi from Yemen. As we all know, one of the most conflict-ridden countries in the world, unfortunately. And what I think is very, very significant in this recognition is that against the backdrop of this terrible conflict that doesn't seem to ever end, Asia built a project, built an initiative, or more than one initiatives, to bring education to people. To bring education to people whom, unfortunately, war was depriving of that fundamental human rights. She herself became a teacher. She had to fight to gain an education herself in that environment and context. And then she decided, as a principle, to give back to the community. And especially, as she will certainly tell us, providing girls with an education. And she launched her own foundation. And I have learned that together with her friends, they sold their jewelry to be able to establish this foundation and to work for the community. And that deserves an applause. And as we heard, I can't remember if it was Anne who said it or the video that said it, her initiatives was able to reach up to 2 million people. This is extraordinary what one person can do. Congratulations, Mabruk. This is very small what we can give you compared to what you have done. تفضل.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to stand before you as a Nansen Regional winner for MENA, to be recognized along with my team for our efforts in the humanitarian field. This precious award represents a significant milestone in my professional career and my personal life. When I was young, I dreamt of a world in which women would actively participate in the development of my beloved country, Yemen. But the social conventions, economic situation, and limited opportunities of that time meant that I struggled to overcome obstacles, as many girls did, to get an education. Thankfully, My father and mother viewed education as the most important right, and they became the companion of my success. I still remember the conversations between us and my father's words of encouragement. He helped me face and overcome many difficulties when I decided to continue my studies at university. His support shows how men can play an essential role in empowering women to achieve a better future for themselves and their society. And that's what I have sought to do throughout my professional career. As a teacher, principal, and humanitarian advocate, I worked for years to expand access to education for girls, as well as children who have special needs or are at high risk, including those displaced by war who have dire needs because of food insecurity. Ladies and gentlemen, the humanitarian situation in Yemen is extremely difficult, especially as a horrific conflict battered and drained our dear country. Imagine for a second how life would be without water, electricity, food, education, and health for millions of displaced people, many of whom are women, children, and elders. My friends and I started the Sustainable Development Foundation in response to this devastating war. Today, our staff of more than 600, including volunteers, work in the most critical conditions to reach those in need, delivering shelter, water, health, education, livelihoods, and so much more. To date, our services have reached more than 2.1 million people in Yemen. These achievements would not have been possible without a skilled and dedicated group of humanitarian workers. But with sustainable and adequate funding, we could do so much more. And so I urge you to pay attention to the critical situation in Yemen and to harness more support for local organizations that are leading the humanitarian response. I assure you that this award will be allocated to support community initiatives led by women and to activate their heroic role in changing society's view of women's participation and empowerment. I pledge before you tonight to continue working hard and with dedication to enable all in need to live a safe and dignified life. Thank you.
Thank you, Aja. Thank you. To receive the award for Europe, accepting for himself and his wife, Lena Grochowska, let us welcome a shelterer of vulnerable people, Władysław Grochowski.
Yesterday, I was honored to be received here in Geneva by the visiting President of Poland and by the First Lady. And we were reminiscing about the events of last year. As many of you know, because I've said this to many people, I will never forget the images, the feelings of visiting the border between Poland and Ukraine, just literally a few weeks after the Russian invasion and after the huge exodus of Ukrainian refugees, many of whom, as you know, went to Poland. But what was even more striking for me, and I will also never forget, is the incredible solidarity of the Polish people in support of the Ukrainian refugees. The mountains of food, of medicines, of clothes, and of toys that I saw in those improvised reception centers at the border were signs of a generosity that I have hardly ever seen. And our award winners for Europe tonight symbolize that generosity concretely, in very concrete ways. Władysław Grochowski and his wife Lena, who unfortunately is not here with us tonight, they are owners, as you heard, of hotels, of a hotel chain, and they made available their assets and their entrepreneurship to host Ukrainian refugees who didn't have any other place to stay when they arrived in Poland. I was struck by one figure. They provided over 500,000 nights of lodging to refugees. This is amazing. And they started, or they already had, a foundation. And through this foundation, they also offered other facilities to refugees, job training, focusing also, as you saw from the video, on refugees with disabilities. So this work by Mr. and Mrs. Grochowski that we honor tonight, and by the way, whom the President and the First Lady recognized, knew very well, was very exemplary, is also a sign, a symbol of what private citizens and somehow the private sector can do when it rises to the occasion and exercises solidarity towards refugees and displaced people. So, Władysław, is difficult to pronounce your name, although you taught me how to do it, but I hope I do it correctly. Warmest congratulations from all of us, on behalf of us all, to you and all those in Poland who have been helping, and throughout Europe who have been helping Ukrainian refugees. Congratulations.
My wife told me I look like Nansen. I'm only missing the hair. I was supposed to be a filmmaker once. I even showed great promise. But I wouldn't trade a Nansen refugee even for a few Oscars. On behalf of myself and my wife, Lena Grochowska, I would like to thank you for granting us this unique award, the Nansen Refugee Award for Europe. I am also receiving it on behalf of all people in Poland who are involved in helping refugees from Ukraine after the outbreak on 24th February 2022, the outbreak of the full-scale war. I am proud that in these difficult moments in history, we were able to behave decently as a nation, welcoming millions of refugees into our homes, women, men, children, older people, and people with disabilities. As a free person, living in a slightly different world, but also in the era of space exploration, digitalization, and artificial intelligence, I cannot accept that conflicts and wars are breaking out around the world. Social inequalities are growing. We are destroying the environment. We are getting richer at the expense of the poorest. How can we be happy if entire cities are destroyed, people died, are displaced from their homes, and children die of hunger. Every person has the right to freedom, a decent life, work, a roof over their heads, and to develop their talents and passions. Every person is beautiful and has the right to happiness. We cannot close our eyes or plug our ears to the cries for help from refugees. I am against building walls, barbed wire, humiliating human dignity, condemning people to any form of suffering just because refugees may come from countries affected by wars, climate disasters, famine, or believe in a different God. We passed the test. We pass the test of humanity when we welcome others and do something for them. The role of businesses is to become much more involved in solving problems that affect humanity, including the problem of refugees. The Lena Grochowska Foundation and the Arche Company started systematically building apartments for excluded people, homeless, those with disabilities, refugees, former prisoners. They will get a chance for a new job, a new life, and to regain a sense of dignity and purpose. This project is a testament to our commitment and determination to build a better world where everyone has their place and the chance to live with dignity. We believe that together we can do more, and each of us can be part of a positive change. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Władysław Grochowski. The award for Asia and the Pacific goes to the Rohingya singers, storytellers.
Thank you, Anne. Yes, here we have to tell a little story, or rather explain, because the four young people that we honor tonight as laureates, Nansen laureates for Asia and the Pacific, Abdullah Habib, Sahad Zia, Salim Khan, and Shahida Win, are four refugees living in the Cox's Bazar camps in Bangladesh. They are from the Rohingya minority in Myanmar, many of whom, as you all know, had to flee over the years, but in particular in 2017, 6 years ago, in a huge movement because of the violence, discrimination, brutal violence and discrimination that they were suffering from in their areas of origin in Myanmar. And they were received by Bangladesh, 1 million of them. They're still there, living in difficult circumstances, supported by humanitarian assistance, hosted by Bangladesh, but with limited opportunity. The Rohingya have the sad privilege, or sad characteristic, I should say, not privilege, of course, to be both refugees and stateless people, because they do not have their nationality, their Myanmar nationality is not recognized. And as such, it's very difficult for them to travel. And that's why they're not here tonight. This is a group of 4 young people that, as we heard in the video, started a brilliant initiative and started making videos, writing poetry and other forms of expression to tell their story and to tell the story of their people. They did that to make sure that in spite of the terrible history that their people had been going through in the last decades, their identity, their culture, their stories, their being as people would not be forgotten. And what they do is absolutely beautiful. So they cannot be here with us tonight, but they shared with us a video that we will watch now and that speaks for himself. And I suggest that all together we share an applause for them that far away.
Thank you so much for recognizing me and selecting me for this great award.
I'm UNHCR Nansen Award.
I'm so happy that I won Nansen Refugee Award.
Okay, I am very much happy and excited to be recognized for the Nansen Award.
Thank you, Abdallah, Zia, Salim, and Shahida. And also thank you, Mr. High Commissioner. As we take a moment to process the valor and the vision of all these regional winners, it might do us a bit of good to listen to the passion in the music of our next performer. For many of you, he may need no introduction, as he is a UNHCR Goodwill Ambassador and a rock star who aims to unite cultures through music, philanthropy, and film. Known as the Samurai Guitarist, he has embarked on 8 world tours spanning 30 countries, and tonight he is here to perform 2 pieces inspired by his visits with refugees in Lebanon, Thailand, Bangladesh, Kenya, Colombia, Serbia, Moldova, and Romania. And by the way, he's agreed to put on a cloak designed and made by refugees at Espero in France, in an appeal to world leaders to honor their obligations to people fleeing conflict. It's part of a campaign called Hope Away from Home. Performing with a number of young talents, including Swiss-based singers, please let us warmly welcome Miyavi.
I made up my mind today. When the sun goes down, it's time to break. When no one knows I'm wide awake, I spread my wings and fly away. I made up my mind today. When the sun goes down, it's time to break. When no one knows I'm wide awake, I spread my wings and fly away.
We're now going through a dark time. We might not see the light of hope in front of us, but as long as we can believe that tomorrow will come, we can get through long nights.
비가落ちる時が始まる誰も知らない夜に旅立つ羽広げ
fly away.溢れ出す底なしの不安と人をつかみ希望のスクランブル世界回る月が笑う目を凝らし闇を見つめど変わらない景色たたぬ目ど空見上げ歩くだけ来るかさえわからない明日になけなしの願いを託し光探す月が笑うWhen the sun goes down, it's time to break. When no one knows I'm wide awake, I spread my wings and fly away. I made up my mind today. When the sun goes down, it's time to break. When no one knows I'm wide awake, I spread my wings and fly away. When the sun goes down, it's time to break. When no one knows I'm wide awake, I spread my wings and fly away. I made up my mind today. When the sun goes down, it's time to break. When no one knows I'm wide awake, I spread my wings and fly away.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Miyabi, and thank you for having us tonight. And thank you, the designer Ali from Afghanistan, for making this cape. So this cape is a tribute to everyone forced to flee, and also all those taking action to defend the rights of refugees. Our message is clear. Compassion and humanity are stronger than fear and hostility. So I became an ambassador after I played at Nansen Award 6 years ago. And I've been to many refugee camps. And I've been feeling the power, strength, resilience from the refugees, especially kids. But at the same time, I feel powerless. I cannot save them right away. I cannot stop the war with the music. I cannot give even a candy to the kids in front of me. But still, won't give up on hope. Won't give up our future. And there is something we can do. Each of us can take a role. And tonight, calling for you, calling for all of you to join us in calling for more support for refugees and an immediate end to all wars. I'm calling. My tea's on fire.
I'm calling, calling for you, for you. Oh, my tears on fire for you, tears on fire.
Thank you so much. Congrats for all the honorees, unsung heroes. Thank you.
Thank you, Miyavi. Wonderful, wonderful. Great job. Oh, my goodness. Very touching, very touching. Now, finally, we're ready to meet the UNHCR Nansen Refugee Awards 2003 Global Laureate, Abdullahi Mire, who has dramatically improved the lives of young people fleeing from conflict. How? Take a look.
At a young age, war took away everything. Education was my only hope. Displaced children have a greater chance of succeeding depending on the opportunities they are given while in exile. That's why I founded the Book Drive. My role is to connect the youth here in this camp to the world for better opportunities. Books open doors that you cannot imagine. To me, my happiest moment, my highest moment is when I put a book in the hand of a needy child, a displaced child. In 2017, I visited a school while doing a story on education. A young, eager student approached me. She had a request, and her request changed everything.
We are sharing 15 girls with one biology book, but me, my target was to get good grade in biology and to become a doctor. I have talked to Abdullah Mire and I've requested biology book.
She is now a trained nurse in one of the hospitals in the camp, providing health care to many and giving back to the community. It all started with one book. 5 years later, we have now brought over 100,000 books into the DAP, changing the lives of thousands of students across the camp. Thanks to my friends and people across the world willing to give, my organization, the Refugee Youth Education Hub, continues to provide educational resources. Books are filling our libraries and empowering our learners. The library is a safe space for girls to read. And not just that, we also work with refugee women to create opportunity for them to make a living, bringing together both refugees and the host community. My target is not only Kenya. Our children as Africans are displaced everywhere. They need opportunities. That drives me. It gives me the energy to move on because the impact is clear. Books unify. Education is the greatest equalizer. I have a lot of responsibilities on my shoulder. It is our world to make it better. It's our Africa to make it better.
And now, to help us present this year's Global Laureate Award, we are once again joined by the head of the UN Refugee Agency, Mr. Filippo Grandi.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you all. I think just by watching that short video, it says it all. There's very little that I can add to the messages we heard, and we'll hear from Abdullah just in a few minutes. But if you allow me, I'll take this moment also to share a few thanks. First of all, thanks to Miyavi and to Luz and the Yakuza, and I think we have some more entertainment coming up, all the artists that have made our evening fun as well as moving. And then thanks those that have that continue to support the Nansen Award initiative. The governments of Norway and Switzerland, the IKEA Foundation, the city and canton of Geneva, all of them, to all of them, we continue to be very grateful, because these are the examples that really inspire us. We talk about so many things, sometimes abstract things, and then all of this brings what we talk about in our meetings to reality, thanks to this initiative and thanks to those who support it. And we need more supporters, so please don't shy away. I have read a lot about Fridtjof Nansen, the first High Commissioner for Refugees, Nobel Peace Prize. You heard his amazing career as an explorer, as a scientist, as a diplomat, and then eventually as a humanitarian. And what really I found always inspiring in the life of Fridtjof Nansen is that he was a man that never stopped when there was a problem. And always, maybe as a good explorer, he would try to push ahead and find a solutions. Not leaving it to other people, but finding a solution himself and leading others in the pursuit of solutions. The Nansen passport that you've heard about, the famous, perhaps the most famous refugee initiative in history, the creation of this Nansen passport, was one of the things that he did, of the practical solutions that he found for a very practicable but dramatic problem of people that didn't have documents to move and to travel. And I think all that we have heard today about the regional winners say, you know, in a way, tell the same stories. These are people that don't stop when there is a problem, find a solution, and try to move on. They remind us that we all have a role to play. They remind us what we keep ourselves in UNHCR reminding each other, where's the solution to these seemingly intractable problems? And the fact that these solutions that we heard, and we will hear now from Abdullahi as well, are solutions that are carried forward by what we term this year unsung heroes. Heroes that, as we heard about Nansen, do not do it because they want to be praised, they want to be rewarded. They do it because they believe that it is the important thing to do. When this is done by these people, this inspires us, should inspire us even more. And our global laureate, Abdullahi Mire, embodies exactly these characteristics. You heard, and he will tell you, I'm sure, himself is a former refugee who had to flee with his family to Dadaab, and many of you, I'm sure, have gone to Dadaab, have visited Dadaab, one tough area, a difficult area. And I understand that his family thought that this exile would be temporary, but it lasted for months and for years and for decades. And his family and himself knew that in a context like this, what is one of the most important things, as we said earlier, giving the award to Asia, is the importance of education, especially for refugees that often have lost everything. But if you have an education, nobody can take it away from you. You know, I've worked myself with refugees of nations that have been particularly impacted by difficult history. The Afghans, the Congolese, the Palestinians. I'm thinking of people that I have worked with. All of them valued education. And this is the same for the Somali refugees that also have gone through so much hardship and despair. But of course, he also realized that to achieve education, there were very practical obstacles. I have to say another thing about Abdullahi, and I hope I say it correctly. He was resettled. He was resettled from Kenya, where he was a refugee, to Norway, where he was given other opportunities. But in spite of going as a refugee to Norway, he went back to Kenya to serve his fellow brothers and sisters, his community of refugees, and founded, as we heard, the Refugee Education Hub. and had this brilliant initiative, as we heard, inspired by a young girl, to give books, to share books with people. 100,000 books. We heard 500,000 nights in hotels in Poland, 100,000 books. These are amazing statistics. We always share the negative ones. These are the positive ones that we should think about. You know, my grandfather, allow me one personal note. My grandfather was a publisher of books in Italy at the end of the Second World War, during the dictatorship, when it was very difficult to publish progressive books. But he did that. So in my family, books always had an important meaning. Freedom, knowledge, hope in the future. So I was so happy when it was decided by the Nansen committee that we have to award the Global Nansen Refugee Award to a person that has made books the instrument of solidarity and the instrument of hope for his community. And it shows how much we can do with very little, with an idea, with initiative, with determination, with not giving up, and you can reach so many people, and you can change the life of so many people. Like Fridtjof Nansen did, Abdoulaye Mire did as well, and I am enormously honored to invite him on stage and to give him the medal that symbolizes the Nansen Award.
I'm honored. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The medal. Let's do it together.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored. Mahadsanidin. Asanteni sana. Thank you. I am humbled to receive this award tonight. I accept it on behalf of all refugee children whose greatest desire is to thrive. At the age of 3, war took away everything from me. It took my home, my friends. As a child, of course, my toys and my family. I did not understand what was happening. I did not understand the mayhem, the anxiety on every adult's face, or why we were leaving everything behind. I just felt lost. When my family arrived in the Dadaab refugee camp in Kenya, I carried those feelings with me. At that age, my mother was my entire universe. As far as I knew, she made the sun come up in the morning. Turn out it is light at the night. She was the source of everything. My brother, sister, and I needed to survive. I am only here to receive this award today because of the undying love, dedication, strength of my mother, who felt her purpose in life was to help her children thrive, not to survive. She held tight to her values. She taught it to me, the values that come with me from Somalia, were nurtured in a refugee camp in Kenya and continue to give a purpose every single day. She valued education, of course, and valued agency. She told me, listen, you have to go get your education, Abdullahi. No one can give it to you, but once you have it, no one can ever take it away. I spent 23 years living in a refugee camp. I'm grateful for the safety, everything that I received. Of all the things, education was the most valuable thing to me. Education gave me the knowledge, which give me the agency, and together they give me the power to make decisions about my own future. I work now so that every child displaced by conflict, climate change, natural disaster has the same opportunity. Which brings me to Hodan. When Hodan was 17, she changed my life. Over the next 5 years, the lives of so many refugee children in Dadaab. And she did it using her own agency to clear an obstacle in a way of her own education. In 2017, I was working as a journalist covering visit to the camps from a delegation. Hodan found the courage to approach me. I was someone she thought must have the resources to be a member of this delegation, not knowing I was just a journalist covering a visit. She had a simple request, just a simple request. She needed a biology book because she wanted to be a doctor. She had access to biology textbook, yes, but she shared it with 12 other girls in her class. Think of this, sharing one biology book with 12 kids, and only one could take it home at the night. Refugee camps can be dangerous places for young girls when the sun goes down. Boys can study together at someone's house, go in safety. But every night, 12 girls went home without a book. 12 girls went home without a book. One stayed up late into the night trying to jam as much as that book into her head as was physically possible. Textbook costs $7. $7 in Nairobi. Stop, just let's stop. Think for a moment. The obstacle that could prevent this girl from pursuing her dream was just $7. I could not remove that threat of violence, but even as a broke journalist, I could buy this book. So I brought her and her classmates a dozen of books so they could study in safety. Hodan used a lot of personal courage to ask someone she saw as a powerful man for a textbook. Back in Nairobi, I asked that same powerful man, why didn't I show the same courage? I'm an adult, yes, whose education and agency enabled him get a bachelor degree, become a working journalist. Why could I not ask others to buy textbooks too? Look at this. And that is where the Dadaab book drive began. I started asking everyone I knew, people I did not know. The people I met because they shared my desire to knock down barriers for girls and boys displaced by conflict. I was connected to Somalis in the diaspora, the organization Books for Africa, even ambassadors. The Qatar ambassador to Kenya. Since then, over 100,000 books have been gathered, shipped, delivered for children in Dadaab. School books, textbooks, novels. We opened 3 libraries. That is my highest moment. We opened 3 libraries, a places where girls, boys can study in safety, where they do not need explanation, courage to ask for books so that they can learn. Free, safe access to knowledge is only part of the equation. To grant a refugee child have agency over their lives requires community, a community committed to help them thrive. My organization, the Refugee Youth Education Hub, founded that community in 2 places, in the teachers and the schools in the camp, working so hard with so little to help these young learners, and the community of people from all over the world to join in the DAB book drive. Together, these 2 communities made it easy for children in the lab to gain knowledge. We remove obstacles in a way of young people's Niger ambition to succeed the world. What is the difference between delivering aid and removing obstacles? It is the difference that treats refugees as less than, needy, helpless, cheap on the ground labor, treat us as equal partners, equal human beings. Few weeks ago, I met up with Hodan, I met up in Hodan, where she is working as a nurse at a clinic in the Dab. She told me she's still on her path towards becoming a doctor. So I want to do for you what Hodan did for me. I want to inspire you to rethink what you thought was possible. I want you to commit to a true partnership with refugees and the refugee-led organizations. What about this? What about this? I want everyone here to identify an obstacle, remove the obstacle to education, inclusion, integration, and equity. And then, like a skill mentor, I want you to get out of the way. Out of the way. I strongly believe a refugee without obstacle in front of him or her, nothing can stop to reach their goals. Let the refugees thrive. I want to dedicate this award to the one who made my path easy and encouraged me to use my own agency to make a difference in this life. To my mother, thank you. Mahat Senit. Mahat Senit, you made it possible for me to thrive. You made it possible for me to thrive. And I want to dedicate this award to every child from my country, Somalia, from Afghanistan to Venezuela, from Myanmar to Middle East, from Congo to Central America, who has been scooped up in someone's arm as they ran because anywhere was safer than here. Because you deserve an education and the opportunity. Be the author of your own future. Mahat Senidin, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm humbled. I am humbled. I am humbled. I am humbled. The takeaway here is, think of what $7 can do in a cafeteria and what it can do in the DAP. Just a book. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored. I'm honored.
Thank you, Abdullahi.
It's a lifetime.
And thank you, Mr. High Commissioner, and thank you, Abdullahi Mire. I'm going to grab your hand and walk you over this way because I was hoping that you might have a moment to chat. Our stage is about to be set for the grand finale, and as the crew makes haste to create the stage for the blowout performance, I would like to ask you just a couple of questions.
Is the mic on?
You can feel the love in this room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your mother, who you mentioned many times, is not here tonight. Will you make sure that she's able to see the videotape online of this award ceremony in which you are so feted?
I'm honored. She is live streaming.
She's live streaming.
That is.
Then,
she is
in that case, why don't we thank Abdullahi's mother with a big cheer?
I'm honored. I'm honored. I'm honored. I'm honored.
You mentioned to me at one point that in our conversations before the awards that you have even bigger dreams in your plans to help young people get educational books. What are you thinking about?
You know, as a child with a displaced background, everything in a camp is just temporary. The only thing and the wish of my mother and millions of displaced mothers in this world is seeing their children not surviving, thriving.
Yeah.
And that to me, I thought education is the only thing. The only takeaway you can grab in a camp is education. And I thought a book, to me as a person, one page of a book is big. A book is huge. It can change lives.
Yes.
It can bring impacts.
Yes. So are you thinking about expanding, making your project bigger than 100,000 books? Do you have hope to make it a bigger thing?
It is just a beginning of a beautiful journey. I hope this award will open doors. Millions of books is needed.
1 million books is needed. You heard it here.
And the beauty thing, I have to thank people. There are two things I always ask people when I want a book. You know, book is such a thing that everyone loves it. Like, what was your first book you read? I'm asking you.
I think
you remember your first course book or something?
Yeah, Wheels on the Bus, maybe. Maybe I read that by myself, yes.
For us, reading starts maybe early. What was like? I started reading when I was 10. Some people start at 3.
3, 4.
So, first book I cannot forget. If there's anyone who went to school in Kenya will bear me witness. Hello Children is something that every child remembers. Everyone who went to school in Kenya, like Hello Children, that's the beginning.
Hello Children, because you're older when you get your book.
Yeah.
So there are likely people listening, including refugees, who are hearing about your idea and are thinking, is there some way that maybe I can bring books to other camps, other refugees, displaced people in the world? What would be Abdullahi's advice to anyone who has this thought listening to you tonight?
This is how we get books. I'm not rich, but I was getting books. We have connections. The digital world is really helping us. We are active on Twitter. We are active on Facebook. We are on social media. And you know, the books are not only for Dadaab. It's a global role. We get books from US. We get books from Qatar. We get books from Norway. We get books from people who reach us with emails. So we are active. We have website. And you know, it's not only Dadaab. Education is something that is crucial. And that shows the little power of we, refugee communities, if given support, the extra mile we can go.
So your advice So your advice to a refugee in Jordan or in another place who thinks, I wish I could do this. I wish I could also get books and create a library. What do you tell them?
I inspire them. I tell them, look, there are really good people in the world. We are not short of good people. Have clear message, passion, then you'll get what you want. You'll go where you want. And then the hard work. I tell them to just work. Never give up. Like, I talk to people I know, people I don't know, people I did not knew, and people, you know, like, I was knocking every door to get books.
I think that you are a great example of the phrase, never give up.
Yeah.
Abdullahi Mire.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm honored.
Now, I've just gotten word that the stage is set and the musicians are all prepared. So Abdullahi, perhaps you would like to go get your seat in the front row as we prepare to see our final massive blowout concert. Thank you, sir. Abdullahi Mire. Our final performer is an internationally renowned Indian music composer and environmentalist, a 3-time Grammy winner, a US Billboard #1 artist, and a UNHCR high-profile supporter named Ricky Kej. And joining him on stage tonight are strings from the Geneva Chamber Orchestra and young singers based in Switzerland. Let us give them all a tremendous welcome. And Ricky Kej.
सर्वम् ॐ ईशावास्यम् इदं सर्वं यत्किञ्चित् जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन मुञ्जीताः मा बृहत् तस्य स्विद्धनम्
the sound of the new beginning. Make a way. This is the sound of a new beginning. Lord knows there is no separation. You and I are all part of creation, and together we make up the circle of life, life, life. I believe in a new beginning.
Namaste, everyone. Let's try that again. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much. It's a huge honor for all of us to be over here to present our music for you. Our next song is a collaboration between 28 amazing musician refugees who are currently living in India from Myanmar, Sri Lanka, from Afghanistan, and from Cameroon. You'll see them collaborating with us on the big screen behind me. And also collaborating with us on this song for tonight is, you've already seen him a little earlier, the Japanese superstar, the UNHCR Goodwill Ambassador, Miyavi. Come on, join us on stage. Come on, a big round of applause for Miyavi. Lonnie, do you want to teach everybody our song?
Sure thing, sure thing. You have a simple part. Are you ready? We are going to need your help. Whoa! We'll forgive you, you're just warming up.
That was awful.
Whoa!
No. This is my Brooklyn side right here. Let me hear you. Whoa! Yes!
Whoa!
I like that. How about everyone?
You know, this is all about unity, isn't it?
That's right.
So let's get everybody together. One more time, we're going to practice this, and then you're going to sing all along with us. All together now. Whoa, ho!
And everyone's got a cell phone in their pocket.
I got one.
Please pull out your cell phone.
I got one.
Turn on your lights, turn on the torches.
I got one.
If your cell phone does not have a torch, I think there are lots of beautiful museums in Geneva where you can deposit your phone. A few more torches. Ambassador, your torch too.
That's right, hold on.
Because this song is dedicated to all the winners over here. This song is dedicated to the amazing UNHCR, because what you're doing is shining your light on the rest of the world. This song is called Shine Your Light.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Lights up. Come on, everybody. Shine your light into the beat, y'all. Shine your light into the beat, y'all. We shining our lights into the beat, y'all. Come on. Shine your light into the beat, y'all. Come on.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here it comes.
Come on, sing it.
Whoa.
Say what?
Whoa.
Say what?
Whoa.
Come on now. Yeah.
We are all in this together. We are all in this together. And nothing can remind us like a simple act of kindness. And in the blackest of night, just one flash of light. In the blackest of night, one flash of life shows we're not alone. No, not today. It is time. Let's do this. It's our time. Let's do this. It is time to shine your light. Come on, we gotta shine the light. Come on. It is time to shine your light. Come on, sing. Whoa, sing it out now. Whoa, sing it out now. Whoa, sing it out now. Whoa, sing it out. It is time to shine your light.
What's up? Let me talk to him for a minute. All right, check it out. We shining bright for you all to see how wonderful the world could possibly be if everybody would take a moment and own it and break it down to components. You know that shining your light is free. Now in this world there's over 7 billion lives and 7 billion with lights. 7 billion will shine and 7 billion just might. Notice that the divine will elevate us to heights, and all of us is inside. It's time to turn on your lights. People on the left, you feeling alright? Say shine your light. And all my people on the right, with all your might, say shine your light. And in the back, in the front, tell me what you want and say shine your light. Everybody, shine your light. Yeah.
If we share a little kindness, and you share a little kindness, together we can be the change we want to see.
Tell them, Lonnie.
If we share a little kindness, and you share a little kindness, together we can be the change we want to see.
Say hey!
Let's show our brothers, let's show our sisters, 'cause you're my brother, and you're my sister, and we're not alone, no, not today.
Everybody stand up! Everybody stand up!
It's time, let's do this, it's our time. Let's do this, it is time to shine your light.
We gotta shine.
Let's do this, it is time to shine your light.
Come on, kids, come on, let's go. Come on. Put your hands to the beat, y'all. Put your hands up in the sky. Let's go. Shine your light up high, y'all. Shine your light up, stay up high. Come on. Shine your light to the beat, y'all. We are beat. Everyone sing along. Yeah, come on, we gotta. Yeah, come on, we gotta.
It's time, let's do this, it's our time. Let's do this, it is time to shine your light.
Come on, you gotta shine your light.
It's time, let's do this, it's our time. Let's do this, it is time to shine your light.
It's time. For what?
Shine your
Sing it, buddy, come on. Yeah! Make some noise!
Thank you so much, everyone. We have the Amorosa String Quartet over here. Please take a bow. Then we have Keith Middleton on percussion over here. Pallavi on vocals. Miyavi, everyone. Two-time Grammy Award winner Lonnie Park on vocals. Ravi Chandra Kulur on flute. And the Tucson Saint Choir, everyone. They are in your aisles. Look at them, appreciate them. They're absolutely amazing.
Make some noise for Ricky K!
Thank you. Thank you so much and have a great rest of the evening.
Thank you, Ricky Cash, Miyavi and fellow musicians. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And may all of our hearts be lifted tonight. If you want to know how you too might be able to help people forced to flee, you can find more information on the Nansen Awards webpage at unhcr.org/Nansen. UNHCR thanks the Swiss government, the State Council of the Republic and the Canton of Geneva, the Administrative Council of the City of Geneva, the Government of Norway, and the IKEA Foundation for supporting tonight's awards. To you who have joined via live stream, thank you wherever you are. To you here in Geneva, thank you too. And please stay in your seats for just a moment as the High Commissioner departs with the honorees to take photographs. before the reception, which they didn't know about, but now we are letting them know about them if they want to go, but they're not leaving because they're happy. So forget that, never mind. There is a reception through the doors and everyone is welcome. Thank you and good night. Thank you. Nice job.
Hey, yeah, Galak kurus setelah burung ya banyu moko demokuraga hey hey galak kurus hey setelah burung ya banyu moko demokuraga gurgunyaw demo fake sumane kay may mohon gurgunyaw demo fake sumane kay may mohon eket gatoj sunguf sane pau randul way gurgunyaw randul 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 way gurgunyaw randul lo chumomulok randul